helping kids is more than just an achievement. It's a junior achievement. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at McTaylor's Alterations and Boutique at 712 Main Street in Myrtle Beach, right next door to the Black Tie Restaurant. We're focused on junior achievement of coastal South Carolina. We're visiting with its president, Mike Campi. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, sir. Happy New Year.
Big last day of the year. Yeah, you got big plans tonight?
Yeah, I'm putting my babies to bed early, and probably not far behind them. Would be my plans for tonight.
You're not going to be watching the ball drop or anything special like that?
See, it really wouldn't matter, Greg. The babies are going to get up when they get up, and we have to get up with them. So
right.
The twins have their own agenda for New Year's Day.
Oh, sure. And you'll be going down before midnight, and then probably, as you say, waking up sometime.
I have a feeling
midnight.
I'd be getting up before some people are going to bed. That would be my guess.
The joys of parenthood again, Mike. Yeah. Now you've got two older daughters, right?
I do. They're home. My oldest daughter is a freshman at the College of Charleston.
Great.
And my other daughter is a junior at Carolina Forest High.
Good.
And then the twins still in diapers. So,
yes, wow. As you said off camera before we started, one in college, one in high school, and two in
diapers.
Yes, very nice. That's exciting.
The day that they get potty trained, it'll be like getting a raise.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Listen to you. You and your wife both focused on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
A lot happening with junior achievement of Coastal SC.
A lot of fun stuff. We're very blessed. One of the primary criteria for delivering a JA program is the utilization of a classroom consultant, a volunteer from the community to deliver the programs. We train them, and then we match them with a local school and a local class. And it would be very easy for us to take these very, very wonderful programs that are developed by JA Worldwide.
Right.
They're like a suitcase, and they're grade appropriate for whatever class, and give them to the teachers and just have them teach it to the students. Junior Achievement's philosophy is business is probably best taught by folks in business.
Right.
And these programs are very multisensory. Some children are auditory learners, some are visual learners, some have to get their hands dirty, and all these JA programs are very multisensory in nature, so that after 15, 20 minutes of theory or lecture, there is an interactive activity, again conducted by the volunteer, that reinforces and underscores the theory or the lecture that just took place. So it's a 1-2 punch that's very, very formidable, and again, it's just, seeing the light bulbs go off in the children's, above the children's heads is one thing, but seeing the delight in the teacher watching this,
the volunteer, and the teacher, excuse me,
the teacher
teacher.
observing it, and then the volunteer who just who hates that last day when they've completed the class. We have volunteers that on their last day they want to bring pizza and make it and they want to go back year after year after year.
Mike, wow.
So it's kind of like I don't know, some of those matchmaking organizations out there. We match a volunteer who's got some time and a real passion about financial literacy. We have schools that want business and education. Business and economics and financial literacy programs, dropout prevention programs delivered in their schools.
Right.
And we, through our special events, which we'll talk about later, a little bit of money, boom, we put it all together, and these kids are enlightened. It's awesome.
That is. What a great...
I love my job. I really do.
All that coming together, or the confluence of those, all those pieces rolling together must be very exciting. And for you to hear about it, whether directly or anecdotally, about the excitement in the classroom, as you said, the educator watching it. And I'm sure you see, do other volunteers sometimes come in to watch, before they actually go to the classroom, to come in and watch the teacher, the volunteer administrator of the program, so that they know what will happen to them when they get in there.
Exactly, absolutely. We will actually have a lot of, for example, we have partnerships with many companies out there.
Right.
And it may be difficult for an individual, perhaps at a mid-management or higher level, to commit to 8 different Wednesdays to deliver the program.
Right.
So they may, 2 people or 3 people may tag team
from the same company.
From the same company, and that the day that the CEO can't be there, the CFO can be, and,
Sure.
and the children are already acquainted with that individual.
Right.
So that a lot of times there's a partnering, and then yes, we also would like because some people, it's very interesting. Some people are very intimidated by the high school level. Okay, and my previous background is adolescence, and I'm very comfortable in the middle school, high school level.
Right.
But many people would prefer and I refer to them as the ankle biters. You know, the kindergartners, the elementary school kids, and other people are just frightened to death of them.
They're worried about getting stumped by some question they just can't answer. The 5th grader show has obviously got them nervous. Anything above that.
That's right. And so we do want to quell any of those fears.
Right.
And so observation is, particularly observation of a seasoned classroom consultant, really does help people to be relaxed when they get into the classroom. This is a good
opportunity to highlight both opening the doors to some potential volunteers, but more importantly to let folks know about much of what's happening with Junior Achievement. If someone needs to get out of the house now, get out to work, what's the best number? Is there a good website even? Best number to call to learn more about the programs and Junior Achievement in general?
Certainly. 843-745-1141. 1141. 745-1141 is our main number. And if you're interested in our special events, you'll just click on for the special events director, Lauren Huber. Or if you're interested in programs, Heather Crosby is our program director. And just I think she might be number 2. You know, click 1 for me, click 2 for Heather, click 3 for Lauren. And it's amazing, you know, delivering 600 classes from literally from the North Carolina border down to Savannah, and 3 staff. You know, so it's pretty
volunteer driven. Yes,
I
mean clearly interfacing with volunteers. Without it, you couldn't cover that kind of market area.
That's correct.
Right,
yes, sir.
Right. You said coastalsc.org.
I did. That's right. jacoastalsc.org. There's a lot of information on there on how to get involved from a fundraising standpoint, from a classroom consultant standpoint. Even from a board of directors standpoint.
Good.
You know, if people want to get involved in the governance of the organization.
How are you all funded, Mike? Is this fund? Are you funded by the government? Are you funded, or is this private donations, or big businesses, or small business?
We are not funded governmentally.
Okay.
Special events, primarily, I would say, you know, we've got individuals who donate. We have a calling campaign in the fall.
Right.
And then we've got a couple of special events. We've got a bowl-a-thon coming up in just a couple months, the end of February, early March.
Good.
And that's a big fundraiser for us. But primarily our support is rendered by the corporate community. The corporations, the small business people, they recognize the intrinsic value of teaching dropout prevention classes, workforce readiness classes, and financial literacy classes. Those are the 3-pronged attack that we use to try to improve the quality of our kids' lives. There are very good jobs, particularly in the Charleston area, for students who graduate high school. They can go straight into Alcoa, Nucor Steel, Midwest Vaco, a lot of these big companies. They will train a high school graduate to do exactly a given job. They can grow with the organization, and these students can make grow into 40, 50, even $60,000 a year jobs. They're wonderful manufacturing jobs, but these kids don't come to work on time, don't come to work sober, don't know how to resolve conflict on the job, don't know how to interview,
Right.
don't know how to write a resume. We have programs, again, those workforce readiness programs,
Yes.
to get these students who are headed directly into the workforce after graduation, and underline that word, after graduation.
After graduation,
yes,
very
sir.
important.
We want them to finish school,
Right.
and then for those who are not college bound or armed forces bound, there are jobs out there, particularly in the manufacturing sector. I mean, Boeing, Google, these companies are
Oh, yeah.
are all right down in the Charleston area.
They are.
2 hours down Highway 17.
Very close at hand, and of course, even in this area, some tremendous companies that are
Oh,
great
my.
potential hires, as well as even further down into the low country, down in the Hilton Head areas you're talking about. Many of these folks are still turning to Junior Achievement and its programs to make sure the kids are trained well.
Yes, sir.
And wanting to support you to make sure you continue to churn out great. Dropout retention is critical.
It most certainly is. Recently, they came out. It seems with every administration, they come up with a different moniker. And right now, they're talking dropout factories. Okay, that's been the latest terminology. And a dropout factory is a high school whose graduation rate is 60% or less. Now, 60% to me is a very low bar to begin with.
golly.
But once again, South Carolina, #1 in dropout factories.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
In the country?
In the country.
Oh, come on.
I tell you no lie. And you know, I don't. It doesn't matter if they call them dropout factories or if they just say we just have a high dropout rate or whatever the case may be. But we've got. You don't try to prevent dropping out junior year in high school.
Right.
It starts in
right.
the 4th and 5th grade.
got to.
And I've got volunteers, classroom consultants who were in the banking industry, for example.
Right.
And they talk about how much money do you think you're going to make when you stop going to school? And they'll say, well, maybe $30,000 a year. And 4th grade students think that's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And then they walk them through the whole mortgage process. And do you want a boat? Oh, yeah, I want to have a boat. They start to crunch the numbers here, and there's, oh my, maybe $30,000, $25,000 isn't going to be enough to live the lifestyle that I might want to achieve.
Have,
you know,
yeah.
So now achieving that quality of life requires. They start to realize in the 4th and 5th grade, it's not going to be on an 11th grade education now, is it? You know, and so the impact is there
Right.
at the early stages to get them through.
That is very important. Break it down to the basics. Ask them those questions. Do you want a boat? Do you want a Corvette? And if you don't, do you just want to be able to give money away to others? You want to be able to help your brother and sister who may be having a tough time? Questions like that as they start to think those, how much would you like to give them? And that's a great idea to add those numbers up so they can do all that. Good for you.
It's so gratifying.
That's got to be, yeah, to see it on the, as you said, and of course we've had some tremendous guests in who highlight some of the importance of focusing on children where they're improving. Let's say they have 3 C's, a D, and an F, and where they improve to a B, 2 C's, 2 D's, for instance. I mean, that's a dramatic improvement as opposed to if you've got all A's and then you just make all A pluses.
That's right.
And so
Yes,
it's critical to have some kind of, but in the same way, training them those basic aspects.
Absolutely. We have many tremendous organizations here in Horry County, and Greg, you're a part of many of them. I really believe that junior achievement programs hit the root cause of poverty. Okay, we can inspire these children, these students to greatness through the role modeling of our classroom consultants and the basic tools of financial literacy. Our kids can graduate high school and have never balanced a checkbook, reconciled their account, and when they graduate high school, Greg, they get hit with 19 credit card applications.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on your achievement, you know, and wow, can you believe it? Somebody's going to give me a credit card, and what happens? They break it in, they hit Tanger, or they hit Coastal Grand, in fact, they probably broke it in a couple weeks ago, just before Christmas, and now the bills are coming in.